After spending a week exploring Hong Kong, Kath's family joined us to visit its Disneyland. Having previously done Orlando and California, as well as Paris earlier in the year, we were excited to see how this park differed from the rest. However, we were visiting during a time of upheaval in Hong Kong, when mass protests had led to tourist numbers dropping, and wondered how this might affect the magic of Disney.
So it's a good start to Hong Kong Disney. Kath's sister is sick and the rest are quite grumpy, but me and Kath are very excited to explore this completely different Disneyland that's not in a Western country. That crane though. As a sign of how quiet it is, we just went on Hyperspace Mountain because it only had a 5-minute queue in the middle of the day. But it was really, really well done, really liked it. Whereas Paris, it seemed really lazily branded with just some posters and stickers put up for Star Wars. Here it was like fully themed and done properly, purpose built. The ride felt longer, a lot more fun. It made me feel like a child again with the Star Wars music. I spent the whole time singing along to the theme tune. Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle was an awesome ride. Like the Hyperspace Mountain, it had really well done theming. So it was like the budgier rides, which you have guns and you shoot at targets, except it was obviously Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp themed. But I think it was better than the budgier ones because they added more tactile feedback. So there was a laser pointer, so you could actually see where you're shooting. The gun would vibrate when you hit something, and then that target would close up for a couple of seconds, meaning other people can shoot that target. So there's a bit more competition in it and more feedback if you manage to shoot something right. We're flying through these rides because the queues are so short, so we're now going on to the Iron Man experience. So again, the Iron Man experience was another one with really good theming. It was like Star Tours, where it was a motion simulator with 3D glasses, but it was with Iron Man in the Marvel universe. However, they added a local aspect because you were fighting robots in Hong Kong. This is so odd. Watching a Christmas performance with snow, but it's really boiling hot out here. Instead of a haunted mansion full of ghosts, here they have a mystic manor, which is about lots of different artifacts from different cultures and periods of time in history all coming to life. So that, they had mummies from Egypt or medieval suits of armor or Chinese dragons all coming to life and doing things. And it was really cool again to see a unique take on a classic Disney ride. Well, they somehow even managed to do a unique take on It's a Small World by having various Disney characters appearing in the countries where their stories are from. Cat. It's now later in the afternoon, it's starting to get a bit darker and all the lights in the park have come on, so it's looking really nice. It's also got a bit busier, but it's still nowhere near Paris level. Because it's Christmas, there's loads more shows on, so we're just hanging around Main Street for the rest of the evening, enjoying all the shows. It's nearly time for the Disney Paint the Night Parade, and this is one of our favourite shows or parades in other Disney parks, so very excited to see it here. How excited are you?
10 out of 10.
It's day 2 of Disneyland Hong Kong, and Charlotte's feeling a bit better today, so we're all out in the park. You're alive, you're here, that's all that matters. Where are we? Where are we?
Disneyland.
We're in Disneyland. What's interesting about Hong Kong is that there's only one park here, which is actually kind of nice because it means you don't have to rush between each park trying to fit everything in and get to the shortest queues. So we actually managed to do quite a lot of what we wanted to yesterday, so there'll be a lot of things we do again today. Who are we going to meet?
Santa Mickey, but it's taking a sweet ass time. Too long!
Yeah, the character queues seem to take a long time here. We're now going to watch Mickey and the Wondrous book, which we've tried to see various iterations of in both California and Paris, and both of those times it broke down. So hopefully we're third time lucky. Well, we managed to see the whole show, it didn't break down. The show was basically Mickey going through his magic book of different Disney movies, and there was hit songs from each, so it's hard not to enjoy that. I particularly like some of the duets, like Little Mermaid and Rapunzel from Tangled singing about being trapped. I did think it could have climaxed better with Frozen and Elsa singing Let It Go. Kind of expecting there to be snow and everything, but it was just a short bit of song. Going in to watch Festival of the Lion King. The Lion King show is one of our favourites in America, and we were really impressed by the one in Paris as well. So looking forward to this. It's hard not to enjoy a show based off The Lion King because of the colours, the music, the animals. But I do think out of the 3 I've now seen, that was ever so slightly the lesser of the 3. I think the one in Florida is a bit more fun and has more special effects, and the one in Paris that was temporary we saw was a unique way of telling the story through dance and song. Saying that though, the fire dances in that one we just saw, that end sequence where Simba and Scar were fighting, was really impressive. So given our last experience of Disney food was in Paris, where there was hour-long queues and cramped restaurants, this is a lot better. They've got the American style system where the tills are separate to the food ordering and preparation, so it's not one person trying to do all the jobs. You get your food a lot quicker, and there's also way more options here, obviously, because it's catering for a lot of Asian guests. Is it good?
The beef is really good. The variety is the spice of life.
Big Grizzly Mountain's runaway mine cars was so good. It was like a combination of different rides, so it had the outdoor western theming and big fast corners of Big Thunder Mountain, but the slow climb and sudden drop of Expedition Everest, which are two of the best rides in Florida and has easily made one of the best rides here in Hong Kong.
For the remainder of our stay, we returned to many of our favourite rides, basically jumping straight on with little to no queue. Whilst our experience at Disneyland Paris was notable for its disorganisation and busyness, with some rides breaking down or lazily themed, Hong Kong was almost the polar opposite. Some of that is circumstantial, such as weather that was neither too hot or cold, and reduced visitor numbers that were low enough to shorten queue times but big enough to maintain a good atmosphere. However, the park itself was also excellent. It seems like they've learnt lessons from other parks and rides so that everything runs efficiently as well as being well designed and properly themed. On top of this, many have unique touches or completely different takes on classic Disney attractions. There was an abundance of shows, and whilst they didn't top the best of Disney performances, they weren't far behind, and at least they didn't get cancelled halfway through, as has happened to us several times before. Other than minor details, the only real downfall for us was the castle being reconstructed, but obviously that is just temporary and will lead to a far more impressive and unique castle that can be seen here rising above the previous one. When booking a trip, it's also worth noting that you are relatively restricted in your choice of accommodation if you want easy access to the park, with the only option being one of the 3 Disney hotels located next door. We stayed in the wonderfully themed Explorer's Lodge, which was highly suitable to my love of travelling. However, be prepared for a considerable markup on the price of your stay and the food and merchandise inside. That being said, the fact that the park is surrounded by mountains and trees rather than a myriad of hotels and shops furthers that feel of a fantastical faraway land. Given all this, Disneyland Hong Kong really has been one of my most enjoyable Disney experiences. It doesn't have the scale of Disney World in Florida or status as the original California park, but its manageable size and unique but perfected design enables you to fully escape to the magical land of Disney.